Alright, what is up boys and girls, welcome back to another video. I am Crypto Maximalist. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Before we begin, I have an amazing giveaway for those who sign up to Bybit down below using my link. I partnered with them to offer a free $500 trading position on their platform to do with as you choose. If you sign up in the next 70 days using my link down below in the description and deposit $100. I personally used it to take a 3x leverage long on Dogecoin, and if it hits $1, I'll make around 15k for free. Definitely worth checking out below. Alright then, we're just taking a look at some news for Vechain, and then today going through some of the articles from the last 24 hours to see how everyone's feeling about Vechain, some of the updates and news in the markets in general. We can see here our first article, which is Vechain. Price increased 62% from the November low, signaling a start of a bull phase, which is something that I've been talking about myself personally a lot. If you've been watching my videos on Vechain, you will know that I think we're heading into the third wave of the bull market, which is another bullish move to the upside, probably heading up towards 10 or 15 cents. You can see in this article, Vechain has recently demonstrated strong momentum following a prolonged correction after peaking at that 5.5 cent level in February. It's obviously descended back down to around that 2 cent level in that second wave to the downside, but now breaking out to the upside and looking really good. You can see the daily VET price chart shows a complete 5-wave impulsive structure, peaking at 0.55 in the 5th wave. We had that nice reaction back to the downside. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here on this, and then we did actually have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the downside as well, although it's not very clear on this chart because the price action looks a bit zoomed out and hard to see. But there are 5 waves to the downside here as well before a correction and consolidation period, and now we're breaking out in this local area, which is something that I've talked about a lot on the channel. If you've been checking out my videos, you will know that I've been looking at this for some time. In regards to Vechain's price action, we've got our first wave, second wave back down to the downside, and then our third wave coming in here. I think the reason this chart looks so different to mine is because it's not logarithmic. I do like to use logarithmic charts because they give you a bit more, in my opinion, accurate price action. But overall, you can see here, people all starting to think the same thing, that Vechain's heading into another bull phase, which is good to see. You can see here, at first a horizontal range, and then obviously a breakout. Recently, the price action has continued to the upside. You can see here this guy's gone onto the hourly chart in the local area. From this local area, you can see we have broken out to the upside, making it a nice little bullish market structure. He thinks we're going to have a retrace and then continuation, which could be likely. You would argue that that would be just a break and retest of this range, which would be very, this happens all the time in crypto. We've seen it so many times, time and time again. Loads of cryptos doing this recently, after the big break and retest of the bear market range. Now probably heading back up towards where we formed that big descending wedge pattern that I've been talking about. As you can see, people all feeling very bullish about this one, which is nice to see. The next article here, Vechain news, community first, VeBetterDAO fuels the decentralized ecosystem governance. The Vechain endorsement mechanism has been introduced to enable economic and X node holders to actively contribute to platform governance. The app requires you to obtain at least 100 points to qualify for active participation in the weekly allocation round. As earlier disclosed in CNF, Vechain has finally unveiled their endorsement mechanism for VeBetterDAO network to facilitate transparency by empowering all stakeholders. According to the official report, this underscores the commitment towards the long-term objective of the VeBetter ecosystem, which is decentralized decision making. This is obviously a big deal because people have been in the past critical of Vechain and the potentially fairly centralized nature of the amount of tokens that are being held by certain people and certain nodes. If you have lots of nodes in the mechanism, you can potentially obviously have a lot of governance power in the system, but obviously decentralization is a really big part of what makes cryptos so appealing to certain people in terms of investment going forward. You can see here the endorsement mechanism. They go into quite a lot of detail about what it is. I do think overall decentralization, things like this will be bullish for Vechain, and the price action I think recently has been reflective of these big updates. Obviously big pieces of news like this, they do tend to have a good effect on price during bullish periods, and we are entering a bullish period for Vechain, as we can see. You can see here, according to the latest announcement, new app creators can now send application forms on the platform to initiate their entry into the ecosystem. Once approved, a creator's NFT would be awarded to formally enable them to submit their apps for endorsement via the platform. Based on our research, apps would go through these 3 phases: application and verification, connecting to node holders, and visibility while pending. Our research also shows that the creator's NFT is an ERC-721 token or a non-transferable token minted to create a submission for the first time. So as usual, everything being minted on the blockchain, everything verifiable and traceable. Very, very interesting stuff indeed. You can see here the current price of Vechain for the past week or so has been heading up, probably in line with this news and also the recent move in the markets after the election. You can see we've actually doubled in price pretty much in the past few weeks as Vechain is heading into another bullish phase in the markets. Overall, news like this I do think is good for the long term. People are obviously interested in this. That news article didn't load for some reason. Vechain bulls surge as experts predict parabolic runs for Injective and Lunex network. Obviously, Injective protocol has been doing bits as well. You can see here more people predicting a surge for Vechain after it moving up really nicely. A 50% move on to the upside on the weekly chart. 28.5%, 29% on the monthly level on CoinMarketCap. Obviously, the token fell to under 2 cents and is now well up above 3 cents again, heading back up towards 5 cents. You can see here analysts predicting that Injective and Lunex are also going to be moving to the upside. I do think Vechain is going to set to be having a really, really nice move to the upside soon. Lots of people talking about the technicals here of the charts. Overall, I think the fundamentals are also really good. We can see here people talking about if you should invest in Vechain. Obviously, Donald Trump's victory was a really big catalyst in the market in general. I do think Vechain is going to head forward in a very, very bullish way. As I said, if you've been following my videos with any kind of aplomb, then you will know that I am bullish on Vechain in this next cycle, heading back up towards its all-time high. Probably making a new all-time high, provided that we don't see too much of a stunted bull market for Bitcoin leading everything to the upside. You can see here everyone talking about the exchange fees. It says, in conclusion, it is advised to steer clear from Vechain and invest in altcoins that are performing well. See, there's going to be a lot of people that do say things like this, that they do think that Vechain potentially is like one of those cryptos that hasn't done well, or it has seen its all-time highs for the last time, and because it's from last cycle, it's not going to pump again. But obviously, we've seen a lot of the large caps. Cardano has absolutely had a massive impulse to the upside, and I think a lot of people are short on Vechain right now, so you could potentially see a little bit of retracement, a little bit of a short squeeze, shall we say, that does happen sometimes with these older cryptos. I think this could potentially, as we see again, talking about the VeBetterDAO launches endorsement mechanism to empower decentralized governance. I do think things like this are going to be taken into consideration. The local price has been moving up. This is essentially the same as what we just saw in the other thing. Not much news in terms of fundamentals, but you can see one more article here. Vechain rises 27% in 7 days over the past 24 hours. These are just the articles we've seen over the past 24 hours, and you can see this is the kind of prediction that they are looking for as we do potentially head up to a new all-time high in this next bull phase. You can see we've also got this big coiling motion. This is something that I've personally been looking at for a while, and you can see we obviously had our big bear market range here. We've got our first impulse, our retracement, and then we'll probably have a second impulse, a retracement, and then a third impulse up towards an all-time high. That would be what I would be predicting. Overall, right now we are basically just chilling and waiting for that next move to the upside. You can see here some people are saying that they are thinking that we're not going to make it back towards the all-time high as usual, but overall I do think we are starting to look really good. You can see this chart here, the 1 day on Coinbase. We are starting to move up above these key levels and back towards where we formed this overall move to the downside at 5.5 cents. I do think we'll probably head up and touch that and move past it in the next few months as Bitcoin starts to rotate capital down into these littler cryptos. But right now we're just chilling and waiting to see what happens next with Vechain. Make sure to sign up to Bybit for a huge 30k bonus down below. Massive prizes at the minute for depositing $100. Bitrue are also offering 50 USDT for depositing, or if you're looking for a non-KYC self-custody exchange for trading, AlphaX down below in the description as well, and like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.